get it started.
And announce the top 8 players advancing. Once we're down to 8, we will split them into 2 groups of 4. The top 2 in each group.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Championship Saturday. Here we are at the Mesquite Sports and Events Complex. Ryan Reesbeck on the air with Pat Moranzoni.
Boom, he's got it.
Today.
He's got it.
Pat Moranzoni, glad to be here with you. Excited to do another championship round. Or this is our first championship round, but another round of 16. The players just started the clock for the first round. David Mobley here in slot 1, Rick Scarfia in 2, Scott Kennedy out of Canada in 3, and Kevin Gabbard in 4.
And Scott really repping Canada today, ain't he? If you can see him on the screen there, going full Canadian flag on the pants.
That's right. I love the passion, and it really should be that way.
Yeah.
It really should be. You should be proud to represent your country.
Yeah.
And it's a push that we're trying to make around the world to grow long drive, and the way our affiliate organizations are set up, it allows them some autonomy to do that. And so we're really glad to be a part of these affiliates in the different areas around the country. And all right, see if we can get some numbers. So far, 0's on the board, but I got a feeling that
I think David Mobley just got one in there.
Yeah.
178 ball speed on that, 111. Now, what is the minimum as we get started here for our super senior section?
So 240 is the minimum yardage. Typically, the minimum yardage is set with the idea of normal conditions in mind. If we were hitting and there was a really strong headwind, David Mobley, 319.
319 off the back. Okay, Dave.
Yeah, if we had a really strong headwind or something like that, we might adjust it. We've seen that a few times, but typically this is just hey, you've got to hit it at least this far for it to be considered a long drive. And so 240, this is the super senior division, which is a 55-year-old class. So.
And let's clue in here on Rick Scarfia, man. I mean, what an animal.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this a little bit. He has competed in every single thing he can possibly compete in.
He is. He's in the open. He's in the senior. He's not in the ladies division. That championship has already happened, by the way. So, but yeah, I mean, he loves it. And like we talked about the other day, he had an injury, work injury, and wasn't able to hit for a couple of years. So it's really good to see him back and just passionate about hitting long drives.
And he's come back in force, right? I mean, he said, I'm going to compete in everything. And listen, here's the thing, right? It's one thing to enter everything, but Rick's actually been a competitor in every division that he's been a part of. He's been a tough out.
He'll be back again this afternoon in the senior division.
Yeah.
Just getting that last one off the
183 ball speed on that. That might be OB left. It didn't come down. It didn't finish the trace on that one.
So we may have jinxed Rick Scarfia there, but David Mobley.
Yeah, we got him confirmed OB right now.
Yeah, Mobley there looking good at 319. Kevin Gabbard 304. Scott Kennedy 284. We'll get those numbers finalized, but we're going to see David Mobley's name a lot today in the super seniors, also in the senior division, one of the top competitors. So here's Lynn Ray in slot number 4, Captain Crush. Glad to have Captain Crush back competing again.
Now, what's the story behind Captain Crush for those who don't know?
So, Lynn Ray has some of these challenges that he does. Like he'll have how many balls he can hit over 300 in 24 hours.
Yeah.
Or some, and I don't remember his record. He's got some Guinness Book of World Records of him just hitting ball after ball after ball. And I think his son just sits there and tees the balls up, and it's really amazing, to see some of that stuff. I don't have the dedication.
Yeah.
For that, but
well, that's probably a great thing for this game too, right? Like you're building up the endurance, you're building up the stamina. Those are things that you absolutely need when you come out here to hit.
Yeah, and some of it is so extreme though. It would lock you up.
Yeah.
We should actually try to get an interview with Lynn about that.
So we got some confirmed numbers here. David Mobley in at 319, Scott Kennedy 284, Rick Scarfia unfortunately OB, and 304 for Kevin Gabbard on that top.
And Kevin Gabbard, I believe, is a PGA teaching professional. So good to see him out. Love to see these guys cross over from golf. I mean, long drive isn't golf, but it is kind of golf in a way. So we don't play tee to hole.
Yeah.
But we love that first part of golf, which is smash and drive. So.
Right. That's the part that gets you excited, right?
Yep. And we're going to follow the same format today as we followed throughout the week. This is a group of 16 players, and each of these players are going to hit in 5 different rounds against all of the other 15 competitors one time, and they earn points as they go along. So David Mobley just earned 200 points. Kevin Gabbard earned 100 points for his second place finish. Scott Kennedy 50 points, and had Rick Scarfia put a ball in play that was shorter than Scott Kennedy, he would have earned 25, but
OB,
because he missed the grid, he doesn't get any points. Yeah.
And Lynn Ray, like you said, right off the bat, right? You heard a little grunt from him, 159 ball speed, puts it in play. Don't know if that's going to end up in play, a little bit left, but not a bad shot to start it off. 279 right there for Lance off the back as well.
Yeah, and slot 1 in the bright shirt, we've got Mark Lawrence out of Roy, Utah. Mark is bouncing back. We talked to him yesterday about being a senior division and open division amateur champion with the ULD, and coming off some health issues. So glad to see him. He's been working hard to get into this position where he could actually compete today. So he's been down here all week helping us out too. Todd Maxley, the same thing. Todd does heating and air conditioning, and he's one of these guys. Some of these guys they're a little off, but he was lifting an AC unit up onto a roof and fell off the ladder and injured his back a little bit, but he's back competing as well. So we're glad to see Todd here at the championship today, and Lance Reeder, of course. A legend in long drive. He's the owner of Crank Golf. A lot of the players you see out here are hitting crank drivers, and I think he's going to be one of those guys that once you get into that final 8, he could surprise people.
I mean, you see him, right? Still high ball speed, 185 on that. You know what I mean? And 303 on the board already. He's putting balls in play. Again, we've said this a million times. Right? That's the name of the game. And you want to hit that longest drive, but the main thing is you want to not go OB at all, if possible, right? So you just want to get some balls in play. And these guys, right, it is kind of interesting, right? We set the minimum at 240. I don't think anybody's come near 240 yet.
Yeah. And we've got a slight headwind right here, so you can't see this maybe as well.
There's
on
a
the
shot by
telecast
Lynn Ray.
It's focused right on the tee box, but our flags of the various countries and our flag banners, Bridgestone Golf and Callaway, those flags are coming in at us. So these players hitting into a headwind, still putting balls in play, over 300 yards. Good to see all 4 players on the board. We'll get those numbers finalized. Lynn Ray at 292, Lawrence at 300, Baxley 270, and Lance Reeder, monster drive there, 357. Honestly, that's a really good drive into this wind. And it's early in the morning. We talk about conditions usually every group that we call, and in the morning the ball just doesn't quite fly as far.
Yeah.
The grass is usually a little wet, soft.
Little dew.
Some dew. Even out here in the desert, but that 357 is
that's a big ball.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, that's a pretty decent ball in the open division there, right? Like
in wind conditions like this, that would be a pretty good. And what that means most likely is that he's got he's good speed, but he must have flighted that ball really well.
Yeah.
For these conditions, because you're not going to get a ton of roll right now with this headwind. So.
And I think, right, like everything, right, and I think long drive a little bit different. Or again, we talked about being different from the regular game of golf, but you see a 308 on the board there. He actually topped it. We had 307 before. Lance Reeder getting a 308 in there. The thing that's been interesting is, right, like timing is so important. In every sport, and literally you see some of these guys, right, when they feel that wind start to hit them in the back, let's pick up the pace. Now I got to start putting balls in play.
That's right. When the wind is varying like that, you've got to pay attention.
Yeah.
So. Here we go. We got Chris McLean from Canada in slot 1, Danny Beck in 2, Daniel Fournier, probably our most veteran player. He's French. He lives here in the United States. He lives here in Mesquite part of the year, but Daniel Fournier has been around a long time, very good hitter. Still, I'm not sure what his age is, but he loves this. He's so glad that we're back here in long drive and we brought this division back. and he's a competitor. He just wants to hit. He wants to compete. So, and then we've got Niall Pruitt in slot 4. So
yeah, Niall put a good ball up there early. I'd be interesting to see what the number is going to come back there.
Yeah.
He had a 185 ball speed on that. Looked really good getting after that one.
Yeah,
314 on that first shot from Niall.
Danny Beck in slot 2, he's been around quite a while, and he's always very competitive. Always very competitive.
299 on the board here early. 174 ball speed, low apex on that one, right? And again, those low apexes, when me coming in, right, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, hit it straight as possible. It'll roll a million feet, and you'll get a long number. It's just not how it goes, though, right?
Like Niall Pruitt here in slot 4, I talked to him a little bit earlier this morning, and he had mentioned that hitting on this surface for the first time yesterday took him a little getting used to. So glad to see him get a ball and play right here and find his groove early. That's good. We talk about that a lot. You got to settle in. You got to find that tempo that's working for you. I noticed on the range earlier. We were watching David Mobley warm up. He was using a training aid called a lag shot. And I don't know if you've ever seen this, but it's a really ultra soft shaft. Yeah. And you take it back, and he was hitting balls probably 320, 330 with that thing. I was surprised. But lag shot's one of our sponsors of of the PLDA podcast. So shout out to Lag Shot. We appreciate their support, helping with the podcast. And if you haven't, go to your podcast platform, search up PLDA Crushing It podcast with Steve Coyce. Steve's doing a great job with that. There's a lot of super good information. One of the most recent ones we listened to was Bryson DeChambeau talking about his journey in gaining speed and really what he's doing now. And what I really liked about is how he talked about what he does to gain that speed and kind of figure out what works for him and what doesn't work for him. Yeah. And a lot of what he talked about was the sensation and feelings that he has as he's training, and where he knows what's working for him and what's not. So if you haven't, take a listen to that podcast. That's a good one. There's a lot of good ones. Martin Borgmeyer, Scotty Pierman. Yeah. We like to hear these players and their story. What their journey in long drive, like Scotty Pierman was a FedEx driver. Yeah. He quit doing that. Now he does corporate outings of long drive. So if you need, you want to hire somebody to come out and help raise the entertainment value or the fundraising value, give Scotty a call. A lot of these players will do that. So reach out to them. Usually you can reach out to them directly on social media. So it looks like Niall Pruitt there.
Good shot
taking
there.
That 315
into a wind blowing back at him, right? And that one, if that wind's going the other way, right, that could have carried a long way. 187 ball speed on that. Yeah.
Now I'm noticing something on the board here. We have Lance Reeder with a long of 308, but I thought he had a 357 drive.
I did as well. Maybe did we get a change on that?
It may have been. It may have been that it was 257, like he hit a ball that wasn't, because we were impressed. I was like I was saying.
When I said 357, I'm like, that's great for the open division out here.
Yeah, it is in the end of the wind condition especially. So, Vince Trullini here in slot 1, Mark Frampton in 2, Tom Stallone, another great competitor throughout the years. And then Michael Dale coming back. We talked a little bit about Michael Dale, and I was corrected. I said that they were kite fishing trying to catch marlin. I was correct. I was wrong. They corrected me. He straightened me out today. Yeah. They fish for tuna. So
that's even bigger.
He told me, he said, what you got to do, Ryan, you just got to come out on the boat and experience it. And I said, I would love it. My son Cash, I know, would love it. Yeah. So I need to take him up on that.
My favorite thing is that I've seen from doing this is, right, people are going back and watching to see what we're saying about them. Yeah. I've had so many people come up to me and be like, you were nice to me. Like, thank you so much. And I was like, I don't. What am I going to do? Just sit here and talk bad? No, you guys are great.
This is very cool for competitors to be able to see their swings and hear the commentary. And the video angles that we're getting, the top tracer equipment, catching the trays, providing the data for us, awesome. So like Tom Stallone here, 318. He's just a yard short of the long drive of the day so far. Vince Trullini in at 284 and Frampton 266.
I would love to see if that really just wasn't a 357 on that, man.
Yeah,
I'm really, I was really impressed by that drive, and the wind was with him, so I thought it could have carried. He had good ball speed on it, but maybe it was, like you said. We have seen that a little bit today. Again, right, the scores aren't finalized, or not today, just throughout the tournament. Scores aren't finalized until they get a confirmation out there in the grid.
Yeah, each ball that is hit, somebody is physically going out and inspecting that ball, making sure that it's not like a stray range ball or maybe we've talked about the white ball with the white-green stripe, making sure that it's the right ball, that it gets attributed to the player, and that there's not any left on the grid, right? That's one of the things that you'd hate to see, is have a ball missed and then later on that ball be found by the next group. So we've got about, I think, 8 to 10 people out there right now. So we try and – yesterday we had about 20 in the open division because it was downwind. There was a lot of balls in play, and guys were just going crazy. So Vince Trullini,
you see Vince waiting on that last one. He felt good about that last one. He let out a go on that. We're at 318, 293 on that one only. He felt good about that when he let out the yell.
Well, and sometimes it's just how you fly into this win. We talked about earlier the flight characteristics play such an important part of the competition. I say it over and over again. The speed is important, but it's not the end-all, be-all. So, it looks like we've got two balls in at 307.
Yeah, we got a tie at 307. So we got the measurement happening there. We got the camera on it.
Yep.
And you see him there, and that's the important thing, right? We got it confirmed on Vince at 307, but you see him there out in the grid, getting the measurements, making sure that they're being 100% accurate here, because we don't want to come back with a 357 that's a 308.
Right, that's right. Yeah, and as a competitor, really, I mean, of anything, that's what you want to see. So you see him there now measuring. See Doug Love, I wouldn't say I don't want to say he's the king of Mesquite, but Doug Love there on the ground, taking a knee. You see him, Doug is a machine. He works so hard for us, not only during the competition, but before and after. We have so many conversations. The staff, Lenora Hutchins, she organizes our volunteers. So I just want to give my praise and really gratitude to them. We could not do this event without them. So grateful for our volunteers and the people, the folks here in Mesquite. It's been a great week so far.
Oh man, it's been an amazing week.
I'm getting emotional, man.
If you cry on me.
But it does mean a lot. It really does mean a lot to the competitors to see this. There's just a different feel when you come to a competition here. I think some of it's the landscape, but I just think it's almost like hallowed ground. That might sound a little corny, but if any of you have ever, if you've ever competed anything at a high level, the venue plays a significant role.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, the measurements should all be the same, right? Like in that movie Hoosiers, the basketball the rim is 10 feet high and the rim is
it's 90,
so wide.
The court's 90 feet. Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, it should be the same, but some places just feel different. So
no, 100%, right? And there's a what's the right word? A reverence, to certain locations that you just. So we did get a 308 on that last shot, and that would tie high of the day, right? With
319 is the longest.
319 is longest of the day. Okay.
Yeah. But 308, they're going to give him the extra distance. So congratulations there to Vince Trullini. That's a second place finish in that group, right? So here we are now into round 2. This is the second round. So each player, what will happen is now the players that hit in the first round, they get shuffled around. So they're never going to hit against the same guy twice in this group of 16 today. So all these players, they're trying to beat everybody, in every round.
Yeah.
And but you don't see crossover. You'll not have the same two guys on the tee box until after the group of 16 when we get to the final 8. And then the way the final 8 works is we have them seeded. So 1 and 8, 2 and 7. So it would be the other way. So group 1 and 8, and then 4 and 5 would hit in the same group, and then 2 and 3 and 6 and 7 would be in the same group. And the top 2 from each of those go into the final 4. And then after that, you got the championship round head-to-head.
That's what it comes down to, baby.
Beat the best to be the best.
That's what it comes down to. Really excited to see what these guys are going to be able to do as we start to get down to the nitty-gritty here, right? Because I think that's the thing, right? After a while, it's just like, oh, so you're telling me that this is the best of the best. This is oh, now it's head-to-head, right? And we've seen these guys, right, fire each other up, talk to each other a little bit early on here. You know what I mean? Where, oh, no, you got to hit it longer. Let's see you hit it longer than that. You know, that's really where this competition, I think, is going to get the most exciting.
Yeah. And there's a lot of history, especially with these veteran super senior players. A lot of these guys have hit for 10, 15, 20 years against each other, some more than that, right? So
now, is there a rivalry in here? Maybe not a poor rivalry, right? not actual beef, but is there a rivalry of we've been in the championship so long, or we've been going head to head so long, the Tiger and Phil of prolonged drive here?
Yeah, I think you're going to see that, especially today in the senior division.
Yeah.
With Eddie Fernandez and Jeff Gavin. Right, even David Mobley, you know, he's not as fast as those guys, but he's definitely crafty. Into the wind, you know, David is really going to be a strong competitor as well. So, it gets us to the point now where like any of these guys could win it, right? They're good enough that if they hit their best ball, and the other guy doesn't hit his best ball, right? I mean, it's rare that you're going to see somebody just cruising through. So
didn't look like Mark liked his set there too much. He's in he's got a little bit of looks like a third place finish at this point. Les Scott Kennedy got one on the board there at the end, but I thought he went OB on that.
Well, Mark's fifth ball 296. That would make him second place.
Second place. I'm sorry, yeah.
And Danny Beck getting the win on that. Wins are so big.
Yeah.
We talked about that. So we just.
296 on that fifth ball.
Yep.
Not bad. Got to talk with Mark a little bit yesterday. You know, there was a lot of shuffling going in and out. It was just
hopefully that's good for the people watching at home or at work or whatever you're doing if you're listening to us. Hopefully you like the variety. I know that Bobby Bradley's on here a lot.
Yeah.
And maybe you love him, maybe you don't love him. You know, that's okay. We really like Bobby because he's got a lot of knowledge. He's got history, right? He loves the sport. He can talk. He can talk. So it's just a natural thing for him. We appreciate all his time. He's going to be back later today. Working hard again for us. So appreciate him so much coming in. I always tease him. I call him the mouth of the South, because he's from Florida. But,
you do. I'll tell you what. If I sound like I understand this sport 100% or 80% or whatever percentage you think, right, it's from sitting next to Bobby and listening to him break down his insight of the game. His knowledge of the game is deep, and he is he is a great asset to this broadcast. So much love to Bobby Bradley.
Yeah, he's good. He does a good job. You know, you don't always have to like everybody too. Like that's one thing that I read a book. I think his name is Chuck Klosterman. He wrote a book called "I Wear the Black Hat."
Yeah.
And the basic gist of that book was that somebody's got to be the bad guy sometimes, right? You can get a lot of attention and play and out of hating somebody.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
for sure.
So maybe you don't like me, and that's okay, right? That's okay. I understand.
All press is good press, right? That's what they say.
But and it's fine to want to love somebody or to hate somebody, but just being a part of it is what we want. We want you to watch and pay attention and comment. I know there's guys probably trolling me right now on the YouTube feed.
Well, and that's what it is, right? Listen, somebody's got to be the Detroit Pistons to the Chicago Bulls. That's how you make greatness out here.
Bill Laimbeer. Somebody's got to be Bill Laimbeer.
Somebody's got to be. I dislike Bill Laimbeer to this day. Never met the man.
Yeah.
It's probably a great guy. You know what I mean?
That's a good point. There's a 30 for 30 with Christian Laettner, and I think it's called "I Hate Christian Laettner."
I hate Christian Laettner. Yeah.
It's awesome. You got to have it, right? I love rivalries. I'm from Utah, and we
Yeah.
got this rivalry: University of Utah versus Brigham Young University, and for me, it's all about the rivalries and the
Yeah.
matchups. Later today, you're going to see these people chasing Kyle Berkshire. Kyle Berkshire has basically dominated the sport since 2019. Very Jason Zuback-esque. And Pat, you may not know who Jason Zuback is, but Jason Zuback in the late 90s, I think he won 5 world championships, 4 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
He's a senior division champion too. But he changed the sport of long drive because he was so good. He raised the level of competition, and everybody was chasing him. We got a close one going here. Tom Stallone, 297 on his last. He's down to his last ball here, and Chris McLean with 296. Right. So we're seeing that wind pick up a little bit. Yardages are starting to come down away from the low 300s now to the high 200s.
We'll see if Kevin was able to get that last one in to take first place. Chris McLean, 296 on that one.
All right, so I don't know if this is going to be a mistake or not, but I have pulled up the YouTube feed.
Okay.
So I'm going to start reading some.
Okay, you're gonna go through the comments. Send some questions our way.
So.
Send some questions our way. Love to answer questions.
Let's see.
Looks like Tom topping out with 297 is actually going to take the set. We're still waiting to get the confirmation on those numbers. Yep, Tom 297 right now. Chris 296 just barely edges out Chris McLean.
Yeah, we try to, the grid workers are instructed to be a little conservative on their estimates sometimes. So if it's possible, let's say it's almost 297, but maybe it could be 296. We always tell them to say 296, and that way, if somebody is clearly over 297, that they know that
you're
on the
able
board.
To differentiate.
Yeah, because the information in game scoring, right, is we're providing it on the estimates on the board.
Yeah.
We still want to be as accurate as possible because as a competitor, you want to know if you're at 296 and you got to get to 297.
Yeah. So. Well, I think that's been the most interesting thing, right? When we got the feed on the Jumbotron and we've got the live score for the fans in the stands, right? The competitors are taking advantage of it as well. They're sitting there. Looking up to the screen, seeing where their ball's landing, seeing what they need to do, and you'll see them, right, step on the gas on maybe their last couple of balls if they feel like they're still a little bit too far away. I've noticed that throughout the entire competition just about. I talked about yesterday, right, asking you if it added pressure, maybe even just looking up at the number adds a little bit of pressure, just knowing what that number is off the bat.
Yeah. I don't know anybody who's looking at the board to see their speed or their apex, things like that. I think what everybody's doing is looking up in that top right-hand corner.
Yeah.
They're looking to make sure they got a ball in play and what their longest drive is so far. And what the other guys are, right? You're going to take a quick glance and say, okay, I'm 296. Vince Trullini's 297. I got to go. I got to make a move on this ball and get it out there.
165 ball speed there for Lynn Ray. It's going to hug the left side. There might be OB left, but it might have enough to stay in. Might just have enough room there. Vince's ball fell off. Let's see what Vince Trullini has here. 190 ball speed. Good apex on it. 148 apex. That's going to land center of the grid. That's a good shot.
Yeah, that'll be good for Vince. He's probably, he's 0 for 3 his first 3 balls, it looks like. So that'll come down at probably, maybe 1 or 2 balls left to hit. And 296 for Trullini. So he takes the lead right there.
I'll
just
tell you
over
this,
Rick Scarfield.
The most interesting thing about Rick Scarfield to me is that.
And that's another good drive by Vince.
Yeah. The most interesting thing for Rick Scarfield to me is that, especially running the camera, he fakes me out every time with the full swing back stop. Full swing back stop. Like every time. I'm trying to switch the camera to him. I'm like, I thought he was going.
So Jim Waldron is another one that does that, and he's done it, I think, the whole time I've known him, probably the last 6 or 7 years.
Yeah.
And he gets me every time because the way he takes it back, it's like he's he's taking it out, lifting up.
Yeah, it's not a measurement swing.
No.
That's the thing. It's like you're about to take a swing and then you stop.
Yes. Yeah.
We've got a 306 on the board for Vince Trullini. Again, he had felt good about that shot he put out there. That was that 190 ball speed that landed center of the grid. 306 on that.
Yeah.
And again, Rick Scarfield, we're talking about him being a competitor. Man, 307 on that actually. Just got that adjusted. His last ball, 307.
Yeah, and Vince, he's going to pick up a win that looks like here on that set. That's awesome for him. That's going to take him to 300 points. He's going to be up tied with Danny Beck in second place after his second round.
And we do have another tie on the grid. Looks like 284, 284. Lynn Ray confirmed at 284. Daniel Fournier trying to see if he's got the 284 on that last ball. We're getting the measurement there. See them walking over with the measuring, and again, right? It's within 6 inches for a tie.
Right, and in these point rounds like this, we will just go ahead and split points. If it were an elimination round, we would do a playoff.
Yeah.
If it's not for elimination, it's just seeding. We would only do a 3-ball playoff. But if it's elimination, we do a 6-ball playoff.
Yeah.
Give everybody, and give the 2 players or 3 players. Sometimes we got to talk about this. The finish yesterday in the second round of the Open Division, we had a 3-way tie for 2 spots, 7 and 8, to get into the top 16 today. We had Jeff Gavin, a senior division world champion. We had he's Ironman too.
Jeff is such a competitor, man.
In senior and open, and very competitive in both. Like that's what is so amazing.
Oh yeah.
And then you have Sam Judah, originally from Alabama, lives in Texas right now, and then Bryson DeChambeau, and it came down to the very last ball that Bryson hit. If you haven't watched it yet, check it out.
Oh, my God. I had to go rewatch it last night.
Yeah.
I had to go rewatch it for the camera work, of course. But, I mean, those guys are amazing as well.
Yeah. It was – and Sam Judah, I don't know if you can tell, Sam Judah, his back is killing him. He walks up. He does something that I don't see a lot. He'll set his clubs down, put the balls in the tee slot, comes back. He doesn't even have his glove on. They start the round.
Yeah.
And then he starts putting his glove on when they start the clock. I'm at the ball, teed up, ready. So when they start the clock, I can hit and then still have time. But he's putting his glove on. To me, I think that would make me a little nervous, I guess.
Well, I think that was the most interesting. And again, right, he's doing that because he knows he's got the power with one swing to put the entire competition away, right? But I think the part that was most interesting to me is the opposite. Like you said, Jeff Gavin's ready.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff Gavin
like
is
when he says
go,
swing. Yeah.
You got to have the camera on Jeff immediately. And Jeff, I'll say this, right? I watched him yesterday. He is a machine.
Yeah.
The part that made it so interesting, down to the 6th ball for Bryson, right, was the fact that right before that, Jeff hits a rocket right down the center, lets out the primal scream, did a great job making it to the 6th ball and putting pressure on Bryson. He did everything he could do to make it tough for Bryson to be able to get through, but Bryson able to pull it off in the end.
Hey, you know what'd be really cool? I was just thinking about this. Because I was watching Jeff's ball.
Yeah.
And I think I was actually calling balls for Jeff. But
you didn't get hit, did you? Somebody yelled out over the mic yesterday. A ball got me.
No, but we were trying to always work on safety to make sure people are staying behind. But every now and then, like, people will they'll mash a drive and the wind changes and it catches them off guard. But one of the things yesterday that I noticed in that playoff round was Jeff Gavin's ball started out right.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about the information Top Tracer provides, the curve of the ball, right?
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see, how much Jeff's ball traveled, right, the whole path.
The curve and how much it's
Bryson.
losing. Yeah, Bryson sent a missile.
Right, because Bryson's was dead straight.
Yeah.
And I don't know if if I remember correctly, it was like left of center, just barely.
Yeah.
But that would be interesting to see if you took the actual curve and straightened it out.
Oh,
if Jeff's would have actually been longer.
Yeah.
because
You
Jeff
talk
does
to the
hit a
top
big
trace
draw.
the boards about that.
Yeah.
Man. Listen, there's people that are much better. Listen, you can tell the difference between the top tracer guys and us, right? You ask them a question, they got to answer like that. We're sitting here trying to figure out how the odds work out on the scoreboard by set 5.
We're trying to add 200 points and we can't figure it out.
We're doing long division. It's all zeros at the end, and we're like, well,
Right.
if he gets a 200 and a 300, 300 is not a thing. Wait a minute, let's run it back. Hold on.
We're doing addition, subtraction. They're doing calculus. So cool there. David Mobley, 315.
Yeah.
Great drive. 306, Niall Pruitt. Edward Hernandez, Contreras, Conchita.
Eddie, you getting on the mic? Eddie, you want to talk? Come on, Eddie.
Eddie's going to hop
Eddie,
on.
they want to hear you
headset
more than
here
they
for
want
a
to hear
couple
me,
minutes.
Eddie.
Yeah.
Here's Eddie Fernandez. I can't do it.
So David Mobley taking a win there. Niall Pruitt looks like he's going to finish second place there in slot 3. Lance Reeder edging out Mark Frampton with a 290. So, and they just finalized it. So David Mobley looking good. Point wise, in his second set, he's going to go to 400 points. He's going to be tied for the lead with Tom Stallone at this point. And we're seeing kind of a distancing here between every round. Those guys that win back-to-back, right? That's a great feeling right now for them to have 2 wins, almost guarantees. I don't want to say guarantees, but almost guarantees they're going to be moving on to the final 8 right after this group of 16.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's I'm hitting at 1 o'clock today, so just wanted to come up and support these guys and 55 and older in the super senior division. So cool you guys brought this division back because it pays homage to long drive, right? I mean. It's just it's awesome. Like some of these guys don't have the firepower to compete in the senior division, and I think it's really cool. 55 and up. Mobley's a legend. David's a freaking legend, right? And he's going to be tough. It's a perfect win for him. I walked up and it's into the win, probably a good 10. I'm like, man, these poor guys.
Yep.
And but yeah, the way he flights it, he's going to be tough today, but it's great to see these guys out here.
Yeah, and it's cool. They've still got those competitive juices, right? They still have that fire in their belly to come out and compete and do well.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Let's see if we can refresh this real quick. I don't know if they've refreshed the board. But, these are the numbers. This is like the first group that's been lining up balls right out of the
Mark Frampton, 305.
Yeah.
Still getting after it. Such a nice guy.
Yeah, good guy. He flights the ball really well too.
He does.
You'll see a lot of that with these players. So, Scott Kennedy in slot 1, working at 270. Lynn Ray 279, and Chris McLean. 2 Canadians on the tee box with us right now. Love the
colorful guys. The older you get, the more colorful you get, right? Got some. So he's wearing his Canadian pants. Are those Canada? The Canada
That's
flag.
The Canadian flag.
There you go.
The maple.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That is great.
Let's see. All right. We doing a little housekeeping over here with some plugs. There are plugs and more plugs all over the place here.
I'll tell you what, the production this week, Ryan, has been absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, that's all me. I did all that.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I'm working hard with all this stuff. I've been talking angles and booms and lifts and Panasonic 4K. What else?
He said all the words
that's all I know about videography. So, yeah.
Pat's been with us next to us all week, right?
A Zoom rocker. I know what a Zoom rocker is now.
He's going to walk away this week saying
viewfinder.
these long drivers are out of their minds.
Yeah. Hey, I've admitted all along we're a little off kilter.
Dude, there's no doubt we're a little we're a sandwich short of a picnic.
Mark Frampton, 305 right there. Strong set for him.
I like that one, Pat. I got them all, dude. I'm 51. I've heard them all.
You've probably been talking to my dad. Big Dixon respect.
Yeah.
Yeah. You come into the Farmers Insurance office on 230 North Main Street, Layton, Utah, and my dad will have some
little
jokes
plug
for you.
there, right?
Yep.
Nice.
You need to buy some home and auto insurance. We're your guys. We specialize in life insurance as well. Come on down. Talk to Mary Ann about our commercial insurance products.
There you go.
That's what Bobby sounds like when he does the.
I know.
Yeah.
Too funny.
Got to give a shout out to one of our sponsors, AC America. They're one of our sponsors from the Florida Hope Sound event. They're supporting us again this weekend. So AC America, you're looking for some air conditioning units? Give them a call, AC America.
Absolutely. How about Vince Trullini, the pasta man? Been doing this so long. He looks good, man.
Yeah.
He, man, he's so big. He's such a big dude.
I know.
I stand next to him like, man, I feel small. Like I feel small, compared to a lot of you guys, but he's still getting after it, man. That's pure love, right? Pure love of the sport.
That's one of the benefits of competing, though, is it like if you're going to compete, you've got to be fit. You've got to be in shape, and so you've got to keep training. And I think you see that in a lot of these competitors. They keep training, keep working at it.
Lance Reeder made it to the top 16 today later on, right?
He did.
I mean, you look at him, right? I just want to be like him when I grow up. See, he is in phenomenal shape.
Yeah.
And is he 59? I think Lance is 59. He's going to be 60 next year.
I think
I think he's going to be 60 next year. I mean, he looks absolutely fantastic. Owner of Crank Golf. He just loves this sport. He's so cool. Even if you don't hit his equipment, he's such a great guy, and he's a huge fan of the sport, and he's great for the sport as well.
Look at Vinny here working a 310.
Yeah, Pasta
Don
Man
Beck,
getting
303, and that wind's not dying down at all. So I think some of these guys are getting a little more comfortable on the tee box.
What are you laughing at?
I'm just laughing because last year we had a headwind like this, and I think I had a set, and I hit it like 313.
Yeah.
So I'm just sitting here thinking like these guys, you may not be wowed by some of these numbers, but given the conditions with the wind, like this is solid play. Like
Absolutely.
we're seeing some good
310 into a 10-mile-an-hour wind is not too shabby for guys 55 plus.
Yeah, if the wind was going the other direction, it would probably be 75 yards or maybe 100-yard difference. So wind is probably the biggest factor. We talked about this too the other day. Air temperature, how firm the ground is, significant factor. Elevation plays a part. Some people want to know, if you're hitting at sea level versus like in Denver, what's the difference, right?
Right.
And a lot of players are where I'm from in Utah, we're about 4,200 feet, and you're at least a club different, sometimes two.
Yeah.
So depending on where you're at, the elevation can be a significant factor. But and you see that, you go to Florida and you guys are just crushing it, and it's like 380.
I think, what, Ryan, here's the thing. When, us guys from Florida that are competing here this week, I mean, it's hot. It's 95, 98 degrees. And when I'm practicing at home, it's 95 and 100% humidity. I mean, it is boiling. So when I come here, like I have a long sleeve shirt on, I'm not hot. I think it's really beneficial for us to come here from hot and humid. And like JJ looks fresh. I mean, we're always practicing in that hot, humid weather, and I think it's an advantage. Coming here and going from there to here in this drier, hot climate where other guys are burning up.
One of the comments on the YouTube feed, I saw somebody say that Justin looked just so fresh and smooth, like his. And I would agree with that when I was watching him yesterday, because Justin's swing, he is so strong and powerful. He's trying to push into the ground so hard to get the ground force reaction, right, and to get the club head to whip up into the ball.
Yeah.
But he looked really smooth. Like I remember Tim Burke used to have a saying, fastest, smooth is fast, fast is smooth, and that's what it looked just like that.
Exactly what I try to do. A lot of people say it doesn't look like you're swinging 150.
Yeah.
But I try. It's all about rhythm, tempo, flow, and that's kind of what I don't want to be. Herky jerky kind of. Fast is smooth, smooth is fast. Tim Burke's a two-time world champion for a reason, right?
Yeah, we got to get Timmy back out here.
Yeah.
He's probably making big bucks selling medical devices.
He is, man. He's doing great. He's got a beautiful family.
He doesn't want to come slumming with us.
But I had dinner with Justin last night, and he's locked in. It's going to be, I mean, Kyle, obviously, Justin, Martin Borgmeyer really stepped up yesterday. He hit it well.
What we saw yesterday, we saw last year in the group of 16. I can't even imagine what today's going to be like in the open division.
Yeah, all 16 guys. Isaiah Joyner. I mean, how impressive was he yesterday?
Young kid.
It's just awesome. I was talking to his dad on the range, and he's from Connecticut, and I'm from Connecticut, so we have a little bond there. And he's just an awesome kid. I would love to see him do well today.
Yeah, look at Daniel Fournier. Pat, was it 173 or 177 ball speed there for Fournier?
How old?
178.
How old is he?
I don't know. He's got to be
70.
He's in his 70. Yeah, he's got to be 70.
I mean, that is just. I mean, longevity, right?
Yeah.
In his 70s, swinging almost 180-mile-an-hour ball speed.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and we're getting older, right? You're older than I am.
Yep.
Way older. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll see you next year.
But you start to not have that same mobility. You've got to work extra hard to stay mobile and flexible.
Unless you do the right things. I've been doing the Rotex. Shoulder handheld.
How's that
models.
work? Talk
Phenomenal.
to me about that.
So the Rotex is a handheld Mobley 300 dead into the fan. That's a good ball.
Yeah, 297 for Michael Dale. Glad to see Michael Dale he's definitely getting comfortable now. He struggled that first set, but this would be a good one if he can pick up some points here.
Yeah, a win. Hey, wins are huge, right? That 200 points. That's 191 for Mr. Mobley.
Yeah, 192, 108 apex. He's keeping it low, flighting it.
Yeah, right around 100 feet, and this wind is beautiful. If the wind is like this afternoon, Mr. DeChambeau will have he's going to have an advantage. He flights it beautifully, obviously. I
don't want to say he's at a disadvantage, but he's like me in a way. He doesn't hit a really high ball flight. I'm totally. No, but really he doesn't. You see him like those shots he was hitting yesterday. They were maybe a mid trajectory, but a very like piercing shot, right?
Yep.
And he put so many in play. And I commented. I was watching him hit in the. I was in slot 2 calling balls because I'm out of the competition. He's in slot 3, and I looked over and he was kind of pulling them left.
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh, he's getting tired."
Yeah, could be
he's
lower
fatigued.
body could kind of be just a split second.
Yeah.
Slow, and sometimes you just come over it. The face closes, only a couple degrees, and you're gonna miss it left.
You know what I thought about was he and I have had this conversation before about pressure, and he talks about how when he's playing golf, tournament golf, live invitational tour golf, the pressure there is different than it is here. This is more of like you have to find the way to work with the adrenaline to your advantage, right?
Absolutely.
And there you have to like almost suppress.
Yeah.
Right? You've got to like suppress the adrenaline and control so you're not doing too much. So
he felt as much pressure as he will feel. 6th ball yesterday, has to hit it 390 to advance.
Life on the line, right? Because he was the third. At that point on those last balls, he was in 3rd place, which was knocking him out of the competition.
Yeah,
so.
and his last 3 balls he screamed at. So but the last one he hit a little bit higher. It was a little straighter, and what a cool reaction.
It was cool. I felt really badly for Jeff Gavin because he hit so well, and his ball. Pat and I were talking about this. His ball had much more curve on it.
Yeah.
And so I think, man, if you would take his ball and stretch it out.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. It
the
could have been longer.
The straighter you can hit it, the better.
Yeah.
But, I mean, seriously, shout out to Jeff. I mean, it's just he's 54 years old. Amazing. He's a couple years older than I am, and he's right there with the young guys, And,
and I say this over and over. He's not just, like, in the competition. He's competing for the wins.
Absolutely.
Right? So.
And he's the one that drives me in the senior division, right? I know I have to bring it. It elevates my game.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, I'm pretty much competing against I have to have a little game within a game and compete against myself, trying to hit certain numbers.
That's
just to kind of push myself.
Yeah.
And Michael Jordan used to say, not that I'm comparing myself to Michael Jordan, but he used to say. He would make stories up in his mind against players to motivate him, to make himself mad or just kind of, and that's kind of.
He would read between the lines
a
little bit,
right?
create his own,
And but just to kind of psych himself up, get that mindset, like it's sometimes you have to do that.
Rick Scarfia here in slot 4, he does this almost fake swing and it gets us. Pat and I were talking about this. Pat's like, man, it just gets me almost every time. I think he's gonna swing and he doesn't swing. But Rick with a 305, Stallone with 304, and now Pruitt at 315.
Yeah, those are good
Yeah.
balls. Very
Yeah.
good balls.
Oh yeah.
What are their ball speeds? Is Mobley the fastest out of all the guys? About low 190s.
You know, I'm trying to think if have we seen any 200s yet? I don't know if we've seen any 200. I think we've seen a 95.
Nice.
195.
And again, 195 ball speed at 55 plus years old.
Yeah.
That's, Gavin will be in this next year, won't he? I think Jeff
Yeah.
will be 55 next year. I believe he's 54 now. And yeah.
He better get on the Peloton and get the legs, the endurance built up.
I know. It's tough. I told him, I said, look, I could have competed in the open division. I'm fast enough. But at the end of the day, 4 straight days, it would have just worn me out.
Yeah.
It's hard as you get older. Even when you're 25, I was talking to, Seb Twaddell yesterday, and he's 21 years old, and he's gassed.
Yeah.
It just takes a lot emotionally, mentally, physically out of you. And to go 4 straight days at the World Championships where it's the most, the most pressure, the most
And he's traveled too. That's another thing
from
you
Australia.
got to keep in mind, right? They're basically what 14, 15 hours.
I think it's 14. Yeah,
different
14
from
hours.
where we're at here. So
Yep.
he's his night is day and day is night here.
Yeah, for sure.
So Tom Stallone, 309, improving his yardage there, getting past Rick Scarfia, it looks like. Now
Yep.
Pruitt's going to take it at
Yep.
315. And
Yeah, 500
Lawrence-
points. That's pretty much 500 is pretty much,
Yeah.
All
right, and so now we're through 3 rounds. The math begins.
Yep.
Right.
The math begins.
Pat's laughing at me. Okay.
Get your calculator out, Ryan.
Yeah, my
Get your calculator out.
my junior high math teacher, Mr. Cooks, he's probably in heaven laughing at me right now for this. So. All right, so the bubble looks to be right now about 250, which
Look
is
at that
pretty
stat.
common. Yeah.
315, 309, 305, 304.
Mark Lawrence,
Man.
304 there.
Yeah, that's a good
Good
ball.
performance.
Yeah.
So we're looking here. Around 250 is going to be the mark, the bubble here, and then we start to see, these
yards, followed by Tom Stallone, 309,
304 mark.
305.
Yeah.
Lawrence,
Yeah.
304.
So Mark has
Great
had some
ball.
health issues.
Yeah,
7
that's
weeks
awesome.
out. I think he's minus a prostate.
Yeah.
Actually,
yeah,
he had some.
cancer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Scary,
Awesome to see him
scary
out here. Been
stuff.
chatting with
So,
him a little bit this
yeah.
week, and such a nice. He loves the sport, man. It's in your blood, right? You do it, and it's crazy.
So I've been thinking about this. Why? What it is? What's the thing that keeps people connected to long drive?
Well, I think, Ryan, a lot of my friends are baseball players. Jeff Flagg, professional baseball player. Remember Connor Powers,
Yeah.
professional baseball player. It was something after you stopped playing, something that you could do to be competitive. We're all athletes, right? We're all competitive. We need to kind of find something to fill that competitive void. And this was it for me. This was more of a platform for me to start playing again when I turned 50. And,
Yeah.
I fell in love with it, and I'll still do it. It's funny. I was watching Gavin yesterday, and my juices were flowing. I'm like, man, I almost wish I competed in the open division because it's like you're with the young guys, and so who knows? Next year maybe I will. We'll see. We'll see what
I
what
think
the future brings. But
I think that's a part of it, and I think that it even gets more simple than that.
yeah,
It's when you strike a ball
mm-hmm.
well and
Nothing
you
like
get that immediate feedback. It's a positive affirmation. You want to hit it again. And golf is a little bit like that, where you can go and play terribly
Yeah.
and you want to get right back out there and
Yep.
play again, or you can go and play really well and you want to get right back out there and play again.
Yeah.
And long drive is like that. Every time you hit the center of the club face and put a good drive out there, you want to hit another one. I think long drivers are famous for the phrase "just one more." Just
yeah. Vinny Trullini right there, the pasta
Yeah.
man, 191 ball speed. I don't know if that one's at 300 yards. That's a good ball. So just to give you an example, how hard it's blown, Vinny just hammered that ball, 191 ball speed. He hit it 300 yards. So on the PGA Tour, 191 ball speed will probably go 350 or 60. So
Yeah.
there's it's crazy.
Tough conditions, with the headwind. But these, I mean, you're not seeing a lot of OB sets now. There was a few early on.
Yeah.
But I'm looking here. There I see 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of the 48.
Yeah, for
So
the
4 out of 48 possible sets of the players.
For the people that are tuning in, Ryan, it's funny because sometimes when you get into a wind, 10 plus miles an hour wind, hitting into it, you tend to overswing. You think you have to hit harder, but it's actually the opposite. When it's breezy, swing easy. You know that saying that's been around golf forever. You just if you go after, you might overspin it. You might make a different move.
Wait
you
a
might
minute.
move left.
I thought it was grip it and rip it,
yeah.
turn and burn.
Pretty much.
That's all I
Pretty
know.
much.
I have
But-
one switch, one gear. It's on, and
But
it's
subconsciously,
full
you think
throttle.
you have to hit it harder. When in actuality, you just make a good golf swing, hit it solid. Solid balls are the most important thing into the wind. Like Bryson,
Yeah.
if it's into the wind, he hits it, more in the center of the face than anyone. Obviously, high-level tour player, U.S. Open champ. Yesterday, so if he's into the wind, you got to hit it solid, and that ball will just go right through the wind.
Yeah. Yeah, you match it up, right? You match
Mhm.
up the backspin with the headwind, the air pressure to cause the ball to float, hang in the air longer as it moves forwards.
That's
science,
that's
bro.
pretty
It's science.
good, man. That's it. That you sounded smart there.
So I learned that from Tim Burke. It's science, bro.
Right,
He told me one
absolutely.
time. It's
Absolutely.
science, bro.
Yeah, science,
So-
bro.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've learned a lot watching a lot of these guys.
Yeah, little nuggets here and there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just over the years, you figure out certain things. You figure out what works. You figure out a routine and how you can get better and faster. And that's what I do at my age, right? I feel like I can get better and faster. And if you have that mindset as you get older, I think it's it's the in my opinion that's what I want to do, and that's what I try to help a lot of other people who look at me as an inspiration. I'm still trying to get faster. My goal is to hit 230 ball speed. I mean, I'm going to give it everything I can to hit it, but and it will be no short. I'm going to give it my all. So it'll be fun to push the limits at over 50 years old. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah. Have we got a report back on Ryan Winther yet? I don't know.
I sent Mike Dobbin.
I heard a preliminary report last night.
Yeah, he was still getting tests done. Last thing
Yeah.
I heard. So I don't know, but he is going to be okay. So which is great.
Yeah, in case you were one of the 5 people in the world not watching yesterday, Ryan, was it a torn oblique? He was passing a kidney stone. Wow. So I've heard that's 4 times more painful than having a baby. I wouldn't know either one, but I'm just kidding.
Good thing I eat clean.
My wife would slap me if she
Oh
heard me
my
say that.
gosh.
So can we delete that real quick, Pat?
Oh my
Pat,
goodness.
delete that. But
Oh,
kidney stone. He said it was his. So hey, I've heard this though. Once they dislodge, like once they move, it is like ultra painful. So it's unfortunate.
gosh.
It's crazy that it didn't happen 2 days later, right? Because I mean, he was playing. I think he took second.
he
his
finished
first
second in the
set.
first set. Yeah, because we
Yeah.
were calling the group yesterday, and I mean, world champion. He's a gamer, so
Yeah.
I mean, he would have had a good chance of making the top 16 today.
Yep, we'll see. I don't know how he's doing. Somebody's asking if he's going to come by the booth today. I don't know. We'd love to have him on air. and
Yeah, for sure.
give him some
That
time
would
if he's
be-
able to do it. So
That would be awesome. Yeah, Rick with that like pump fake, right? He takes
He
it back.
he does, and he'll do it sometimes like 4 or 5 times.
I asked him the other day. I'm like, "You going righty or lefty?" Because he swings it both ways. It's
Pat,
crazy.
I told Pat that we were watching for. I haven't seen him do it yet. But,
Yeah.
But if you guys don't know, Rick Scarfia in slot 3 in the blue shirt, white pants here, he's on the screen. He hits left-handed and right-handed, and it is amazing. Because if any of
Yeah.
you have tried to hit opposite hand,
Yeah.
it's not easy.
Lance
not
needs a
easy.
ball in here. He's down to his 6th ball. He's got to get this one in play and get some points.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think he liked that last one. But then there's another thing, right? Yesterday, our 3 guys in the playoff, Bryson, which was shocking. Who else? Sam,
Jeff Gavin.
and Jeff Gavin. They had 3 OB sets yesterday, one each, and they were all tied with 450 points.
And if any
so
of
if
them
2
would've
of
put
those
a
guys
play-
just
yeah.
could put a ball in play, that's why I always say, get
Rule
some
number 1.
points. Get some points. It doesn't matter if it's 25, and it's because that could be the difference. Like that was an action-packed playoff yesterday. I mean, it was crazy.
Do you take like a play driver or a shorter driver?
Yeah,
up to
not a
2
shorter driver. I have a head with a little bit more loft on it. It's a little bit easier to control. Like my first ball yesterday, I hit it 365, 209 ball speed. That's kind of where I'm at. We're just nice and smooth, and then I can get the other ones and kind of let it go.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my mentality. Now in the open division, I can't really do that. If I
tried
compete,
that before, and going back and forth. I even one time experimented with just 47-inch, kind of cutting the difference, splitting the difference.
Yeah.
And I just never. I don't know if psychologically I was thinking that I was a little behind with not having that extra inch of club length.
Well,
but
I feel like if you make a good swing with a 47, you're going to make a good swing with a 48.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only an inch difference. You're going to hit it a little bit farther. So why not just hit the 48?
yeah.
I think if you're gonna go shorter, you go like 45 and a half. Like my play driver is 45 3/4. I would do that instead of like in just an inch. I don't think an inch makes much of a difference when it comes to that. But that's my opinion.
Yeah. So Rick Scarfia there, Mr. Fake Out, hitting 310
on his last ball.
On his last ball,
Sixth
he was
ball,
0 for
310.
5 and then
Yep.
6-balled them all.
Yep.
Congratulations. We'd love to see the Rick. We should come up with a name for that. the Rick.
Rick.
He ricked him.
Yeah, Rick is going to be at 350 points, too. He's going to put him in the top 8 as of now with 1 set to go.
Yeah, and Lance Reeder, unfortunately, no points there. Michael Dale, 263, and Chris McLean with a 281.
And Lance he was looking good, too.
Yeah, that's going to help Chris. That's going to give him 350 as well. So,
yeah.
Going to push both of them into the top 8 with 1 set to go.
Oh, Lance went OB in his 3rd and 4th set. He's going to have to win his 5th set to have a chance.
Well, he can do it. I mean, he hit a 357 earlier. Wait,
did he?
308. I think what happened was they called back. I think it was 257.
Yeah.
And both Pat and I were like, "Man, that's awesome! That's like seriously, that's super impressive."
Yeah,
in these
357.
conditions.
Like, sheesh.
All right, Kevin Gabbard here in slot 1, Daniel Fournier in 2, Mark Frampton in 3, and Mark Lawrence in 4.
Again, Fournier, I believe he's in his 70s, Ryan.
Yeah.
I mean, it's impressive.
You know what, though?
Jeez.
What I love about Dan is his hair. The guy has great
He's
hair.
got better hair than Kyle.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a good-looking guy.
Yeah, 179 ball speed. Jeez. Yeah.
Is that he just he just did 179?
Was that 179 for him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see if I'm gonna give me a second here. I'm gonna read some of these on the chat here. Dehydration, caffeine. Yeah, I don't know anything about caffeine or high fructose corn
I do.
syrup.
Well, yes, you do. Mr. Dr. Pepper. I can't believe you haven't been sponsored by Dr. Pepper by now.
You know, I'm still waiting for the phone call. So, but it is what it is.
303. That's a good ball by Mark Lawrence. Yeah, it's awesome. He just had cancer surgery, right?
Yeah.
Recently. Ooh, got after that one a little bit.
Yeah, he liked that. Got
175 ball speed. He put up 179
looks like it's down
ball
the line.
Speed. Yep.
Kevin Gabbard in 278. Kevin, let's see where he's at, 200. This is his his 4th set. So a couple of players, I think this is the last group or second to last group that has round 4 to finish. And then the real math begins, Eddie. You probably want to get out of the booth before that happens. Too much mental stress. trying to figure out all the various scenarios.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I'll hang out for a little bit. What is it, 9:30? I'll get out of here about whatever. You can kick me out whenever.
Are you getting out of the sun before, like you go back to your room, chill for an hour
I'll
or
just go chill.
two?
I'll shower. I got my clubs all set to go, and got a couple of fresh heads from Cobra today, and ready to go.
Cool, very cool.
Ready to go. Got my setups all set, and
What is your setup?
My setup, I'm gonna game the TPT 19 high with a Cobra 7.5 LTDX to start. That would be under normal conditions, maybe a little bit. It looks like the wind is going to be a little bit left to right, maybe a hair helping. So I'm going to hit that setup. I got it set to about 6 degrees. So, but you know, the wind can switch here just like yesterday. I don't think I've ever seen it swirl as much as it did yesterday. It was nuts. Like even mid-set, it would change 2-3 times.
Yeah.
And we talked about Jeremy Nowak yesterday, how it was straight downwind right at the beginning of his set. He was ready to go and pulled the trigger a split second after he said fire away. And
yeah, we were noticing that too. Some of the players, like I mentioned, Sam Judah, he doesn't even have his glove on yet. His glove's on the ground. He's talking to the ball caller.
Yeah.
And then they start the set, and then he picks up his glove, starts putting it on.
Yeah, so we got a tie here, guys. Mark Frampton and Daniel Fournier, 289. They're measuring probably Fournier's sixth ball there, and see if one gets longer. If they're within 6 inches, they will split points. So it looks like Mark Lawrence is going to take that set down, 200 points. And that will put him, that's going to put him at 425. He's going to be right there. He has a nice solid fifth set. He will make the top 16. Good for him.
Yeah, we're getting to the point here where the guys that are in the lead, we've talked about this, like Trullini with 700 points here.
Yep.
Trullini's got a set. He's guaranteed to be in. What's he doing? Is he trying to send a message? Is he trying to control the seeding? He wants to be number 1 seed.
I think it's important. I think the 1 seed is important because you get the 2 and 3 guys in the opposite group, right? So those are the other 2 guys who hit it.
Yeah, you're going to be 1, 4, 5,
right,
and then 8. Yep.
So I think that's important because the 2 and 3 guys are obviously hitting it well, and it's better to face them in the semis than the quarterfinals. So
Fournier picking up 200 points there.
Yep.
Or excuse me, 100 points. Sorry,
yeah, 100 points, right.
Yeah, because Lawrence picked up the 200. That's what it was. The measurement was for the second and third place points.
All right.
Let's see what Mobley does here.
It's just such a good move. I love his golf swing, man. He has. We were talking. He's got one of the best golf swings in long drive history. It's so effortless, isn't it, Ryan? Just so smooth, and he's very calculated. When he's on that tee box, he's looking at a spot on the grid, and he's trying to hit that spot, and that's all he's thinking about.
Yeah.
And just a wily veteran, world champ.
Yeah, he's
awesome to watch, man. It's fun. It's fun watching him.
He's hitting well. I'm wondering if he's going to see or experience some fatigue because of all of his travels.
He's hitting in 2 divisions, right?
Days.
Super seniors and seniors. I mean, it's not easy. It's the same thing there's a little bit more hitting in the open division, obviously, but it's still hitting multiple days, and it's not easy the older you get.
And he had to travel. I think he actually flew in. And then flew into Vegas and then flew back to Atlanta, rented a vehicle, and was taking some supplies back to Florida to some friends and family. Then was able to get back and fly back to Vegas and made it here Thursday afternoon. So his, I don't know, maybe that will, maybe it won't, but he's played a lot of golf and he's done a lot of long drive. And he's keenly aware of his physical situation, and I'm sure he's doing all he can to be as fresh as possible.
Yeah, so pure. Love his golf swing. Effortless power, right? Instead of powerful effort. That's what you strive for, effortless power.
For some reason, we're not getting any scores for David.
What was the ball speed on David there, camera 8? 190 ball speed, just waving at it, just nice and smooth. Not expending too much energy. He's got, he's already in the final 8, so.
Yeah, Tom Stallone in the lead right now, 301. Imagine Mobley is if he's got a ball in play somewhere around there, maybe a little further.
315, I would
Danny Beck
guess.
leapfrogging to 303.
I would guess Mobley somewhere 315-ish, 310, 315, 320.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I think's happened. It looks like maybe the iPad is overheating.
Yeah.
The ball caller is physically writing the measurements down right now.
Gotcha.
So we'll see. if we can't get the technology back up and running
Yep.
pretty quickly. So
Yeah, it's been fun competing with him. I always tell him, I wish after I stopped playing in '04, I wish I'd got right into long drive, that next year in '05, and it would have been fun to compete with him and Jason and Pfister and all the legends. So, but that didn't happen that way.
Yeah.
So, but it would have been cool. It would have been cool. I really enjoyed competing with him and Gavin and the rest of the guys. It's been fun.
yeah, I was talking yesterday a little bit about a competition we had in Kansas City. Went to dinner with Tom Peppard and Brian Pavlet, and just listening to all the crazy stories from back in the day. So David Mobley, 304. Yeah.
Man, that's and that was 190 ball speed, 304. That's it's blowing. Yeah.
Do you use any training equipment that you swing with? Because we were watching David warm up, and he was using a lag shot.
Yeah, I don't, Ryan. I have a system at home that I use, which I'm getting ready to have a prototype made, which has really worked for me for swing speed. And over the last years, I've tested it and I've used it with some other people and gotten incredible results. So that's what I do at home. I don't even do that here. I'm swinging the golf club. I'm just focused on rhythm and timing here. So I've already put my work in. Now it's time to kind of let it go.
All right, Kevin Gabbard in 1, Michael Dale slot 2, Niall Pruitt in 3, and Lynn Ray in 4. This is the first group in the last round. So we're getting down here to the nitty gritty. The bubble right now is 350. 350. Michael McLean and Rick Scarfia are both tied at 350. Mark Frampton at 325 is just out of the top 8. So this is a big round. Kevin Gabbard, he's got 225 points.
He needs a win.
He definitely needs a win.
Yep.
Definitely needs a win.
Is Kevin is he any relation to Kyle?
It's his dad.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's
Kyle Gabbard's
awesome.
dad, yeah.
Good kid.
Which is
really
funny
nice
because Kevin is not a physically imposing person, right? But
right, but Kyle's
is like
a big
6'5".
dude. Yeah, yeah, he's a big kid. Nice kid too.
Yeah.
Really good hitter. He won last year, didn't he?
He is the amateur champ. Yeah,
yep.
Defending champ 2021.
That is awesome.
Unless and that's an interesting call, right? Like Kyle could probably go to the open division and play as a professional.
Mm-hmm.
He decided to come back and try and defend his championship. We saw Scotty Pierman do that with the amateur, with ULD.
Well, he's done great.
Yeah.
Scotty has really been a great addition to this division.
Oh, Niall Pruitt, 310.
Yeah, 310. That's a good ball.
Michael Dale. Yeah, so each of these players getting balls in play. We're down to the last 1 or 2 drives.
317. Wow.
Yep.
That's a
Niall
good ball.
filling it up.
That is a flat, low spin ball that he hit there. Must have been, because it's blowing pretty good. At least 10, 12 miles an hour straight into.
Looks like maybe pulled that one a little left.
Yeah.
So 188. Super impressive.
Yeah,
right?
very good.
All right. So unfortunately, it looks like Lynn Ray may be eliminated today.
Good to see him out here, though.
Yeah. Scott
He's
Kennedy.
been long drive for a long time. Scott.
Yeah. Daniel Fournier. Michael Dale needs a win here.
Yep.
I don't think doesn't look like he's going to get it.
Yeah.
But so he may be eliminated from the competition.
Yeah.
Really good to see Michael back.
Yeah.
Right? Michael used to run qualifying for the Remax World Long Drive Championship back in Montana. Never got up to his. It was funny. He would always do it a certain time of year, and we always had like a family vacation planned the same time. So
Yeah.
I always wanted to get up there and participate in that, but now he spends a lot of time on the ocean. So used to be a contractor, and now he does a lot of fishing. He just came back from Cabo.
Yep.
Where they're doing some kite fishing for tuna.
Yeah, it's awesome. I went to Cabo with Eileen and the kids a couple years ago, right before Christmas, and what a trip that was. Incredible. That was fun.
So now on the tee box, Lance Reeder. And Lance is 250.
Yeah,
if he wins here.
He needs a win.
Yeah.
And it's going to be
Lynn Ray at 301.
Yeah, that's a good ball. Was that his longest ball of the day? His longest ball, maybe?
So
Yeah, that was his longest ball of the day. Good for him.
Yeah.
Last set.
And the wind's pretty strong, too.
Yeah, it is. That's a good ball.
So Tom Stallone standing in the way here of Lance Reeder. I think we've determined that Daniel Fournier in 2 and Scott Kennedy in 4 are eliminated. Lance Reeder needs a win, and we'll see if Tom, Tom's what's Tom at? He's at 550 points.
Yeah, he's good. He's
a couple of wins and a second-place finish.
Yep.
I think Lance has got his work cut out for him, but Lance can do it. You talked earlier with his speed, right? He flights the ball well. He puts them in play, gets a roll. Stranger things have happened.
Yeah. Tom, he's got some speed, huh? Where's he?
Yeah.
Well, it was 177. I think that was a miss hit, but
yeah, he didn't like it.
I think he'd be at least mid 180s to 190. Looks like, yep. Fournier 170. That was a miss hit 'cause he's been up in the upper 70s pretty much. You wouldn't be doing this in your mid 50s or 60s or 70 if you didn't really love it, right, Ryan?
Oh no.
Yeah, it's cool to have these guys competing, and it keeps you young, right? If you're able to compete in something at this age, it's awesome. Our Lance 307. That's a really nice ball there. Takes the lead. Oh, Tom Stallone takes the lead, 309. Lance needs Mr. Reeder has to have a win here to have a chance at the final 8.
Got a couple of drives left.
Yep. I don't know if his 4th ball is in, but 292.
Let's see. I'm showing him on the big screen here. Doesn't look like the tracer caught it. It's going left.
Yep. He's got to step it up here. 1 ball left. I don't. 3rd place. I don't think will get him in there. That'll put him. I mean, that'll put him on the bubble. But there's a bunch of guys at 350 with a set to go. So.
All right.
All right.
He's lining it up, strapping it on.
Yep. 24 seconds.
Strap it up.
Strap it up, baby.
Strap it up. If you were at the 2016 Rockwell Championship, you would know it. That's a reference to we had an arm wrestle championship on site at the same time we were doing. It was kind of an experiment.
Yeah.
But this guy, he would beat another guy, and he said, "You picked the wrong sport."
That's so funny.
And they say, when their hands are slipping, they'll say, "Strap it up."
Strap it up. That's funny.
Looks like Lance is just not going to get that win. Tom Stallone's going to beat him at 309.
Those back-to-back OB sets, Ryan.
And both of those are good drives.
Yeah.
309 and 307.
Oh, absolutely.
Just unfortunate
absolutely.
that it came at this time. So, I mean, Lance had 2 OB sets that really, really hurt
Cost him.
Yeah.
Cost him moving on to the final 8, But great to have him. He's hitting this afternoon, too.
Yeah.
He's in the top 16 in the regular senior division. So we'll see him this afternoon, and it'll be fun.
All right, Tom Stallone here in slot 1. Or, sorry, Rick Scarfia. For some reason, I keep
Is he going lefty? No, he's
going righty. So Scarfia in 1, Frampton in 2, Danny Beck in 3, and Todd Baxley in 4. So taking a look here, it looks like Baxley is probably eliminated from the competition.
Baxley.
Danny Beck is in, and Mark Frampton is on the bubble. Mark needs to pick up a second-place finish here. A third-place finish with 50 points might get him in.
A win gets him in for sure.
Yeah. So he might, if he picks up 50 points, that'll put him at 375.
Yeah.
And
second place will be borderline.
Yeah.
Depending on what some of the other guys do, but a win is what he is looking for here. 267 on his first ball.
Baxley's 276. Oh, wait, Todd. It looks like Rick putting a little extra effort into that.
Yeah. He doesn't really have to either, Ryan. You know, he just needs to get a good ball in play. And
Yeah.
you know, I think he's got a little bit more gas than the other guys. So if he gets a decent one, 295. That's what he had to do. So that's a good number. First or second, I think he's definitely in.
Yeah, he hit that outright, brought it back.
Yep.
181 mile per hour ball speed. So Rick should be sitting pretty right now. I would be surprised if anybody surpassed 295 in this group with the last ball or two left. The wind just picking
up into the face. It's going to be hard to catch 295.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's blowing.
Yeah, this is where stuff starts blowing across the grid.
Right. Yep.
All the signage becomes a wind sail. The tents are in danger. You know, the forecast shows that in about an hour it's supposed to switch and go the other direction.
Yeah, it's gonna go. It's gonna kind of go down and off the left.
Yeah.
I don't know what I think the grid faces north, correct?
Yep, grid faces
So
north.
it'll be going. Oh God, south. East,
southwest.
Yeah,
from
southwest,
the southwest. Yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be fun.
And Scarfia it's still in the lead at 295. Last drives have been hit. It looks like he's going to advance on. Danny Beck is going to continue into the final 8.
Yeah, good solid hitting.
Frampton with a 278 on his 4th ball.
Mark.
That may push him over.
375. He's going to be 370. That's going to be close. Well, Chris McLean is he's got 350. So he would have to finish no worse than 3rd in his group to make it. If he finishes 4th, he and Frampton will be tied. So see what happens. Mr. Trullini is safe. Mobley, Stallone, now Pruitt, Vinny, Trullini, and Danny Beck. I mean, they're all safe. And I think Mark Lawrence is as well. It's 425 might be close, but oh no,
I think 375 is going to be that bubble.
Yeah, he's got one set to go, so he hasn't even hit. He's got 425 with one set to go. So, and this is the final set.
Yeah, and Chris McLean really is the only one that's not in this group of 4 that could be in.
If he wins, he's in.
Yeah,
and if he finishes 2nd.
Yeah, or even I think 3rd. If he finishes 3rd, that'd give him 400
Yes, you are right.
So.
That would knock Frampton out.
Yeah.
Yep.
So McLean, we'll see how many balls Mobley hits here. We talked about this yesterday that sometimes he'll hit only 3, 4, 5 balls.
Yeah, he's going to take his time. He's going to take his
he does his vision
work.
Yeah,
his routine and just let it go and just smooth it
that
out
tai
there.
Chi?
Yeah. Vinny's swinging it really well.
Yeah, I think so too.
So Chris definitely needs one in play.
Yeah, no.
He has to get a mark. He can't overdo it. He needs at worst a mark.
Yeah, no balls in play for the first for each of the first 2 drives, it looks like, maybe, unless Mobley's got one in. But everybody missing on their first ball and almost everybody missing on their second ball.
Yeah, so. Mobley's just playing golf here. 184 ball speed, just
Trullini
taking
with
it
190
easy.
Ball
190
speed there.
190.
That ball looks
would
to be
look
in
good,
play.
really good too.
See what he goes here.
Ooh, Mark Lawrence yelling at it. Yep. He's screaming.
He's going for it,
301, yeah.
Mark
Vinny, 301.
Should be in regardless.
Mobley, 304.
Yeah, Vinny hanging back a little bit. I don't know if he's trying to hit up maybe a little higher or if he's just, overexerting a little bit. It's interesting to see the tendencies that people have when they try to ramp it up a little bit. A lot of people start, sliding into the ball laterally.
Yeah.
Some people hang back. Some people become upper body dominant. So kind of interesting. One of the things that you need to learn about yourself as a competitor is what you do under pressure.
Right.
Because that primal instinct kind of takes off and takes control sometimes. Eddie, how tall are you?
6'4".
No.
I know.
Really?
Yeah, I'm only 6'4".
You seem taller than that.
How
to me.
tall are you? You're 6'4", right?
I'm like 6'3.5". We're round. If
Here,
we're
stand
rounding,
up.
which we do in math.
Stand up. I got flip-flops on, but you might be shrinking. No, we're about the same. We're the same, aren't
I'm
we?
on my tiptoes, Eddie.
I got it by a little bit. I'm literally 6'4". I just measured myself like a month ago.
So Eddie, but I've got a bigger belly.
Yeah,
So
you do. You
I
do.
have more-
You're a larger human than I am.
I have some potential to create a lot of speed
Yes.
in my mass because it takes mass to move mass. It's science, bro.
It is science, bro. It's science.
Wow, so David Mobley, 309. All right, this is going to wrap it up. We're going to finalize these points. And then what's going to happen now is we're going to take the top 8 players. We're going to seed them 1 through 8. And we're going to have the first group of 4 players be the first seed, 4th, 5th, and 8th seed in one group. And then 2, 3, 5, 6 will be in the, 6, 7 will be in the second group. We'll have those 2 groups hit. The top 2 from each of those groups will meet in the final 4. Still using the point format.
Yep.
And then the final 4, the top 2 players that advance will then go head-to-head for the Super Senior Division World Championship here at the PLDA.
Mobley cruising, 1,000 points.
Yeah.
5 for 5.
You mentioned that and you said cruising. I think that's succinct.
Yes.
That I agree with you. I don't see that he's going after it right
Not yet.
now. Like
when you look, he's the best one. We can agree with that. He is the best hitter in this division, and he probably has as much experience as anyone. Vinny Trullini's a world champion as well. David's a 2 or 3-time world champion, right? 2 times.
Well,
3
and
times?
he's also got those ULD
Yeah,
championships
right,
last year.
he does.
So
So he's a champion.
yeah, yeah.
So he knows how to do it, right? He knows
Right.
what he has to do. He knows what it's going to feel like on the box, and he's confident. And he did what he had to do there. And when you know you're the fastest guy out there, and he's got the best swing, he's the fastest. He hits it in the center of the face more than anyone. He just needs to just take care of business and focus on what he does. And like the younger guys, Ryan, a lot of them have come up to me this week and asked me advice and questions. And I said, look, it doesn't matter who you're on the box with. Take care of you. Focus on you.
Yeah.
Don't worry about, hey, that's Kyle Berkshire, or that's Justin James, or that's Ryan Riesbeck.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Because then you
and-
start to do things.
Right. Then they're intimidated and they've already lost. So anytime my brother taught me that, God rest his soul. But when I was a kid, just never be intimidated by anyone. Be the intimidator. And that has really worked for me throughout my entire athletic career. And I've never shied away from competition, or I've always brought it no matter. If Kyle hits his best ball against me, if Justin hits his best ball against me and I hit my best ball, I'm just not going to – I'm not going to win. I'm not going to beat him. So – but I'm going to go out there and give it everything I can and know that I can flight it. I can hit different shots. So I do have an advantage there. I can hit it low, high, cuts, draws. So I can work it. So I'm more of a tactician like Mobley.
Yeah.
So,
you mentioned, though, they've got to hit their best shot. But how often do we hit our best shot? And
yeah, it's tough, especially under the gun, right? But you just have to trust it. If you've done the work and if you've put the time in, the training, the practice, and then you come here, what is there to be nervous about?
Yeah.
You go out there, you leave it all out there on the grid, and you do the best you can. Win, lose, or draw. Like today, win, lose, or draw for me, I know I put in the work. I have got no excuses. I'm going to go out there and give it everything I have. And whether I win or I don't, I can hold my head high saying I did everything I could possibly do to put myself in the best scenario to succeed.
Yeah,
and I think that's the way people have to look at it.
I think the tougher thing would be to try and swallow that you were this close, just a fraction of a hair away from, and you didn't do it. So then you think back, well, if I would have done this or that, then maybe I would have. So I think to your point, you can only do what you can do, right? And if you can go up to the tee box saying I've done all that I could to get here,
absolutely,
and I'm going to give it my best, and we'll just see how it goes.
Yeah,
and because I mean, you mentioned like if they hit their best ball and you hit yours, you're not going to beat them,
right?
Right.
And that goes for 99.5% of everyone, right?
You're being humble. You're
No,
being
no,
too humble?
seriously though. I mean, look, Justin.
Oh,
and
you mean
Kyle,
against those guys?
Yes,
Yeah,
against those
yeah.
guys, against
Yeah.
Kyle, Justin, Martin. Some of these guys. I mean, they're just ridiculous. So and most of these guys, look. I would need help if I hit my best ball. Kyle or
Yeah.
Justin or Martin, if they hit their best ball, I would need some help from them. So if they didn't hit their best ball, they spun a little bit too much or whatever. But you go best for best.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
But I think that there is this time when I said, how often do you hit your best? Your best is one time.
Yeah.
Right? And
Yeah.
then you've got to best that to be your the new best, right?
Right.
So if you look at it really, it's very rare that anybody ever hits their best ball
Right.
in the finals in that pressure situation.
Right.
But the closer you can get to hitting your best,
Yeah.
right? You have a shot. And that's why we play the game, right? That's why we
Right.
we don't just say, hey, well, so and so is the fastest, or
Yeah.
he hits the most balls in play, he hits the best ball flight,
Yeah.
right? We play the game. So right now we've got David Mobley, slot number 1. He's going to be the 1 seed going into the final 8. Niall Pruitt in 2, Danny Beck in 3, and Chris McLean. Chris McLean, looked over at us and said, "I made it."
Yeah.
Right.
Good for him, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, very cool. He's been to several tour events here. He's been working hard. Glad to see him experience some success right here.
Yep. And he's put the work in, right? So
Yeah.
it's good to see guys get rewarded for their hard work, and they get here and they make the final 8, and it's awesome to see.
Yeah. So 2 of these guys are going to be advancing to the final 4. Question is, who is it going to be? We feel confident it's going to be David Mobley, one of them, but so maybe the eyes
look
turn
at
to
that
the
right
next
out of
3.
the gate, 3:15.
Yeah. Okay, so was he holding back? Was he cruising? Is
Well,
he going to
let's
start to
see
ratchet
his
it
ball
up?
speed here. Camera number 6, 189. Yeah, I think
That's about where he's been.
Yeah, it's about where he's
Yeah.
been. Like low 190s is kind of where he's been.
Danny Beck, 265, a ball in play, so probably not what he wants it to be, but it's in play. He's got 2 of them, actually, looks like. So
Yeah.
Chris, liking that one. Little effort in there.
Yep.
185 ball speed,
185
hitting
ball
the cut
speed
down the right side,
Chris,
116
yeah.
apex. And this is cool where you start to see these numbers and you see if you've been paying attention, you see what the winning formula is.
Yeah,
Okay.
we got a tight little draw by
One-
Mobley.
yeah,
That's pretty.
141, and he's going to that back right corner,
Yeah.
trying to see the wind is in our face right to left, a little bit right to left. Those flags are whipping down there.
Yeah.
So Niall Pruitt and Chris, I thought Chris's ball was a good ball. We'll see if it was in play. But Mobley just keeps filling it up. So
Yeah,
298.
307, Chris. Wow, that's a good ball.
That's awesome. Yeah, he's feeling it.
307.
What's so cool
315
about
for
this right
Mobley.
now is you can see it's happening right before us, right? Chris McLean has found the zone.
Yes.
And this is going to give him such a good chance to finish well here.
Yep.
I mean, we were just saying, oh, man, Mobley, 315. But
Yep.
McLean,
Yeah.
298, 307.
Right there.
He is right there.
Mid 180s. I mean, David's only a couple miles an hour
Yeah.
faster than him. 191, 189.
And
297. Like you're right, he's found the groove.
Yeah,
it freed him up. Getting those first 2 in freed him up. So now he can, he can let it go a little bit.
yeah, and Niall Pruitt and Danny Beck, right? They look up and they're like, wow, 307, 315. They are, they're not the norm if they don't do this, because the
Right.
norm is you're going to look and say, I've got to push hard. I've got to reach
Yep.
back, and we see Niall Pruitt, no balls in play so far. Danny Beck hit his first ball, looking for those numbers. Danny Beck walking off. You can tell he's got one on the. It looks like he may have hit one of his last 2 balls in play. He's looking to see if his number is going to come up. That's the
307 is
worst
gonna be
anticipation,
tough,
too, by the
tough
way.
to catch, man.
So-
That's a good ball in this
yeah.
wind.
Now Pruitt,
Yep. You can
no
and
balls in
Niall
play.
Niall hit it well, all day, and then all of a sudden you get to 4 for 2,
mm-hmm.
and then bad timing for an OB set.
Yeah, the competition changes a little bit, right? But the idea of this format is that the cream rises to the top, and then
sure.
you've hit enough now, right? You've hit 5 sets in each T slot, each of the 4 T slots. That at this point now, like, you need to be on your game, and you need to be in that zone, like we talked about with McLean, finding that swing that's going to work for these conditions,
Right.
to give you the best chance to put balls in play and get through, survive and advance. So our next group of the final 8 here, we've got Vince Trullini in 1, Tom Stallone in 2, Rick Scarfia in 3, and then Mark Lawrence in 4. And let's see if we can tell early, who feels comfortable, who's looking like they're going to move on.
Yep. And it's funny, you get to this point, right? And a lot of these guys will press a little bit more. You just got to stick with what you've been doing all day. Go through your routine and just do what you've done. You don't need to do anything special. Like I talk to tour players or coaches, and I'm like, a lot of guys that go from the Corn Ferry to the PGA Tour, they feel like they have to change something, and then all of a sudden they play terrible that first year on tour, and then they're out. Then they got to go back to qualifying.
Yeah.
You're good enough to get there. Like what you're doing, just maybe, short game or whatever. You don't have to change anything. You're good enough to play on tour, compete on tour, and I think too many guys want to change too many things when they get there, thinking that they have to.
Right. That's a good point. I mean, when you try to do differently than what got you there, that may hurt you.
Yeah,
right.
for sure.
So you got to trust the process. All right. Any balls in play so far? I'm not seeing any.
They've hit one ball. Scarfia just got his second ball off. 185 ball speed. Is that 4? All right, no balls in play yet, guys. Ryan just had to go change. Tom Stallone, 301, good ball. And again, it's blowing into a good 10 miles an hour, might be more. Mark Lawrence, nice ball, 294. Ooh, he went after that one. Little miss hit, probably 170 ball speed. But Pasta Man needs to get one in here. His first 3 are out. Rick Scarfia as well, his first 4. So that again, 4 for 2, the top 2, the longest 2 balls are moving on to the semifinals. Wow, Stallone, 323. That's a good ball. Very good ball. Didn't have a lot of spin on it. That was really nice. Mark Lawrence is in second, 294. Scarfia and Trullini have to get a ball in here. 180 ball speed for Mark. Oh, Vinny just yelled at one. He hit a good one. 186 ball speed. If that's not too high, yeah, that was a good ball.
Had to go do a quick wardrobe change.
Yeah.
Come back. Tom Salone's got a 323
I
on
know.
the board.
I know. Trullini
Wow.
got his 5th ball in. He kind of yelled at it. So 303. That puts him in second place.
And Mark Lawrence.
I think he might. I think Mark
297.
may have gotten his 5th one in. I'm not 100% sure because it's hard for us to see over here. But
so close right there with the 297.
really close. So Mark is down to his 6th ball. He has to go 304 or better to move in. He's got 8 seconds to go.
6 seconds.
So he's got to get this one off.
4, 3, just gets it off.
I don't think he liked it.
Little frustrated there,
Yeah.
but congratulations to Mark for getting to this point.
Man,
right,
awesome. Yep.
Such a battling back from cancer and surgery to get here. Awesome. Just
just a inspiration, right, Ryan?
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
It's so awesome.
Tom Stallone, 323.
Yeah, that's a good ball.
And Rick Scarfia battled all week. I hate to see him go out and not putting a ball in play, but
look at Vinny. Back against the wall.
Yeah.
Last 2 balls, 303, 305. Did what he had to do.
Yeah.
To finish second in that set and move on to the semifinals.
That's a good point because a lot of guys, when you have 4 balls OB.
You got 2 left.
Yeah.
It's like
and to hit both of them, right, over what he needed to.
Right. But, again, world champ, right?
Yeah.
He's been there before.
Been
He
on that
knows what he has to do. And, you got to get it done when the bell rings. That's the most important thing. Yeah, 323.
They're going to reseed right now, these last 4 players. So the 2 winners of the last 2 groups are going to come back up. That's going to be David Mobley, Chris McLean, Vince Trullini, and Tom Stallone. And they're going to battle it out to get to that final round, the championship round. So it's going to be very cool. We've given instruction for the grid worker on the championship, the winning drive, to race that ball up so we can present that, with the award.
Ryan, are there cameras out there? Like, to see like how the ball reacts? Like are there cameras out
There's
like
cameras,
down grid?
It's really hard.
I can kind
to
of see what we were
capture
the other
it
day.
in the air.
Right.
Right. So what you're seeing is they're trying to capture it as best they can,
Right.
running out.
Gotcha.
And then they're going to try and give a perspective of where one ball is in relationship to another ball in the
Gotcha.
yardage. So we're going to see the numbers quicker probably than the camera can react.
Yeah.
But you know, we're doing what we can. Like I said before, man, this camera crew has been just
phenomenal.
awesome. Yeah,
Phenomenal.
And Top
yeah.
Tracer, you know, and Curtis Foles, the man behind the curtain. You guys don't see him. He's sitting in front of his computer all day long in case we need some assistance.
Yep.
So he's been a rock star for us. Just can't say enough about the whole crew. And this is exciting, right? This, you know, you're saying you got to lay it all on the line, right?
Yeah.
You got to leave it all on the tee box.
Right here, man.
Right?
This is it.
Keep doing what you've been doing, making it work. So we need to talk about the payout here, because this is something.
Yeah, what is the payout?
I know. Let's get it pulled
Super
up
Senior
here.
Division?
That's not it right there. Let's see here.
All right, here we go. You look for the payout, and I will.
I'm gonna get it pulled up here.
So
and
we
then
got
talk about
Mobley, Trullini, McLean, and Stallone. Ooh, Vinny, 193 right out of the gate. Ball speed. That looks pretty good too.
All right, so this Super Senior Division, the winner is going to get just over $4,000, first place prize, and then the second
David,
place,
you see David stepped it up there, 193. He's been kind of high 180s. He probably hit that really solid, flighted it. I can't tell if it's in or not. 305 for Trullini on that first ball. It's always so nice to get your first ball in and a good ball.
All right.
All right.
We need what we're missing right now is a little bit of
330. Look at that, yeah, Mr.
See,
Clutch,
stepping
right?
up, right?
Mr. Clutch, 330.
I don't want to say he's been holding out
Well,
on us,
right.
but I think he's been
Right.
keeping some in reserve.
Well, Stallone hit one 323 in the last set, so
yeah.
he's I don't know if he got any of his 323. Look at that. 323.
Yeah. Okay, so he just put another one in play.
181 ball speed. Wow, that's impressive. Vinny, 317. Wow, what a set so far. And David is just doing his thing. You know, just sticking to his business. Look at Stallone, 320, 323, 324. I mean, consistent.
Yeah.
He's hitting it solid. Yep. And that's 183 balls are all in the low 180s.
Yeah.
And look at how far it's going. He's just hitting it. He's flighting it perfectly. Low spin, and it's going right through the wind. That is really impressive. Ooh, it's going to come. Oh, my God. Chris McLean, 322. Look at this set. Ryan, these are the best numbers we've really seen all day. Look at how close
These guys
this
are
is.
stepping it up.
Yep.
They want it, right? I mean,
of course, that's it. You get your juices flowing, man. This is it. Do or die. It's do or die.
All four players. Chris McLean not getting the trot he wanted there. Vinny, I think likes it.
Ooh, I think he liked it. 193.
He didn't yell at it.
No, and it hit a little cut. It's only 100 feet in the air, Ryan, so I don't know. That could be a really good ball. That could be a good one. Oof. It's safe to say Mobley is going to be in, I would assume, unless Stallone did something special. Wow, 310. He must have spun it. He probably caught a hair low and probably spun it a little bit too much, or he just didn't hit it high enough.
Okay, so we've got Chris McLean locked in at 322, so he is officially going to be eliminated from the competition. He's going to finish there, tied with Trullini in that third and fourth spot there.
Man. What's the payout for those guys? What are they going to make for third and fourth?
So they're going to take about, let's see here, I think it was about $13.65
All right.
for third and
That's
fourth.
not bad.
Yep.
Not a bad day's work.
$13.65. Second place is going to be $22.75, and then first place is just going to be over $4,000.
Nice.
Now, also on top of that, we have some performance bonuses.
Nice.
Ooh, $335.
Yeah, Mr. Mobley. Stepped on the gas a little bit more there, you know.
Yep.
The wind laid down a little bit too there, just by 4 or 5 miles an hour. So that's why we're seeing a little bit bigger numbers. But yeah, Mobley, 330 right out of the gate. You know, ball one. then just kind of cruised, stepped on it a little bit more, got his fourth ball in at 335. So he is going to move on to the final against Tom Stallone. Yeah, really the best hitters all day.
I think so.
Right?
I think you're right. The points. Congratulations.
Great job, guys. Yep. David Mobley going for his 14th World Championship here.
Man, it feels like it.
Yeah,
right?
but hey,
he's
you know what?
always in there at the end.
Stallone
so.
has an opportunity, right?
Yeah.
He knows who he's on the box with. You know, David's a legend. And if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. So at the end of the day, he's got to bring it. He's been right there with him all day, lower ball speed by about 8 to 10 miles an hour. So if David, obviously he flights it, if he can hit it solid, you know, I like his chances, but you never know. It's a funny sport.
Yeah. You know, real quick before they start, one of the things that we've tried to do is award performance bonuses. And the longest drive was David Mobley, 319, and then whatever he just hit right there. But in that group of 16, 319 yards was the longest drive of the group. David Mobley's going to get a $300 check for that.
Nice.
Lynn Ray, 18 balls in play. He had the
Wow.
most balls in play of all the competitors.
Nice.
He's going to win a performance bonus there. And also, he had the best set, which is the total number of yards in one set, with 1,372. The next closest was Lance Reeder at 1197. So
Yeah.
congratulations to Lynn Ray picking up, $600
Nice.
on his performance bonuses. David Mobley. So, and we're going to see, the prize purse just gets bigger from here for everybody. So.
What's the senior? What's the performance bonus for the senior yesterday?
I know you're worried about that.
That's how much we love it, right? We don't even know what the purse is.
That's
Or
right.
the performance bonuses.
I said that I said that at the banquet the other night, and it literally dawned on me while I was talking about this
right.
that nobody in here really knows, and I didn't have the exact numbers because
Yeah.
there's a lot of things that are factored into it. But let's
All
get
right.
back to the round here.
Yeah, here we go. Finals. Tom Stallone, David Mobley. Finals, Super Senior Division. David going for his fourth World Championship, maybe. Long
Stallone
drive
with
outside of the other divisions.
185. And Eddie, just to prep you, as soon as this is over, I'm going to have to rush out there
Okay.
and do an interview and present the belt. So if you can hold on,
Yeah,
I'll
for
talk
sure.
with Pat, I'll turn the headset over to Pat.
Okay. Yeah.
Pat is the consummate professional. He's going to throw you some softballs, and he's going to help you out. So, Tom Stallone, 284 ball
Yeah,
play.
284.
Mobley looks like it's left side,
Yeah,
has a
it's-
chance to stay in.
Yeah, I can't see that ball if it's in or not, but 193 ball speed, if that
They said OB.
OB.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quick response back. Love
Yep.
it when the grid workers
Yes.
are quick like that. And we're
So-
with two guys on the tee and 10 people out there looking for golf balls, they should be able to get a number back pretty quickly.
Yep.
So.
David's he's staying in his routine.
This is for the World Championship, and he likes it.
Ooh,
And
he
likes
likes
it,
that
yeah.
193 right down Main Street. David Mobley. Man, he doesn't get really too amped up anymore, but that was a great reaction from him.
He is a showman.
He's
though.
a showman, man. He's a gamer. Stallone's got to step on it here. And
Looks like
ooh,
he
331. Stallone, did he hit a good one there? 179 ball speed, cut up the right side. Don't know if it's going to stay in or not. But the straighter you can hit it into this wind, the better. So Mobley, 331, gonna try to build on it.
So Stallone down to 2 balls.
Yep.
2 balls, 34 seconds left.
Yeah. 291 on his fourth ball, and just
191.
Mobley
ball
hasn't
speed there,
changed
though.
anything from the first set to the final. You see his
Yeah.
demeanor. You see his his routine is exactly the same. The moment does not bother him.
And Stallone stepped on that one a little bit. 191 ball speed. So he's down to his last ball. 10
Yep.
seconds left. I don't think Mobley's even going to get another ball off. He may not even try.
6, yeah, he is.
So-
He's just going to kind of quick play it.
Stallone 187.
87.
high,
Ooh,
down the
that's a
right
good
side.
ball too. It looks like.
Oh.
I can't tell if that's going to be.
All right. I'm going to turn this over. You guys are going to have to call
Yeah,
the winner.
absolutely, no problem. So we got Mobley, 331 final. Tom Stallone waiting on that 6th ball if it's in or not. We will. We'll get another. Look pretty good though.
And Mobley feeling like he won there.
Yeah. Oh,
331,
317. Yep.
Mobley getting a win there. That's
again
big.
another world championship
That's
for
big.
Mr. Mobley.
How many is that for him?
I don't even know. It's crazy, right? He's won so many of them. It's like you don't even know. But I want to say he won one or two in the open division. I think one in the senior division. He's won a couple of other organizations world championships, but this, I don't even know. We'll have to ask him.
Yeah.
It's multiple, though. I can tell you that.
It's one of those, you go through his Wikipedia and
Yeah,
it's like
right.
times 4,
47-time world
4.
champion in 9 different divisions. David will be 106 years old.
We're going to hear from Ryan Rees back
Yeah.
here.
Finals like that, it's crazy, but you get through it. You hope for some good shots, and I hit a good one there at the end. It just wasn't David.
Yeah, that fifth ball was 191 ball speed. Very impressive. You stepped on the fifth ball, I know. The sixth ball was just short, but
That fifth ball was out, though.
It was just out. Congratulations. Great performance all day. The top 2 players in the points portion of the contest finished here. So thanks you again for being here. Let's get David Mobley out here. Give him a hand. The 2022 PLDA Super Senior Division World Champion.
See David and Tom embracing.
Yeah, legend.
David, you've been in a lot of these championship matches.
A lot of them.
He's down in the water.
Yeah. Right.
David, you can't get too close to me because this microphone will go out. So you got to stay.
You got it right here? That's good
Yeah,
enough?
yeah. We'd like to
Got it?
present this winning ball.
Thank you. Thank you, Bridgestone, by the way, too. Welcome to Long Drive Bridgestone. Long time coming.
Yeah.
Appreciate it very much. Tell me, we were on the air there talking about all the things you were doing. Eddie mentioned that you looked like you didn't really change anything all morning. You stuck with your routine. Tell me, what was the game plan going into it?
Well, I was just trying to keep it simple this morning. I knew if I could just hit it solid, I stood a good chance of getting all the way through, at least having a shot at the finals. I like to kind of step it up, as you know, as I get deeper in. And I was just out of it all day. My balance was off. My swing fell off. It felt terrible. I couldn't find it. And then in the last, few groups here in the finals, I started to get a feel for something and managed to get one ball in, which is unusual, but I managed to get one. That's all it takes,
Well, you had the longest drive in the preliminaries. And then also you exceeded that in both the semifinals and finals. The longest by, I believe it was 334 was the long ball of the day. That's by you. So all day, every round, 1,000 points, each round you competed in, all 8 of them today, you won. So I think undisputed champion of the world, David Mobley.
Thank you.
So, David, I know earlier in the week we were talking, and it was a little iffy where you're going to be able to get here and not. The troubles at home and obviously the weather problems in Florida. But I'm so glad you were able to make it. I think this is your 6th world title.
Thank you.
Across 3 different divisions.
Yeah.
Am I correct on that?
Yeah.
6?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's
3
correct.
different divisions, open, seniors, super seniors. Maybe you'll get a little older and we'll bring another division in for you.
That would be awesome.
But congratulations this year, super senior champion, man. Great job.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Congrats.
much. Thank you, guys.
That's awesome.
Love to see that, right?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
that-
Well deserved. Just a legend of the sport, man.
that really signifies the sport, right?
For sure.
It doesn't matter, age.
Right,
too
absolutely.
young,
Age is just a
too
number,
old.
man.
It's about how much you can hit it.
Absolutely. Good for him. Really
you see
proud.
the
Really
hat
proud
there.
of him. Just
Fort Myers strong,
Yep.
really representing
Thank you.
for back
Again.
And we got a check
Thank
for
you,
you, too.
everybody.
when you think
Amateur
long
division's
drive,
coming up
And money.
next. Please stick around, get you a drink, water, or something or other. It's going to be a exciting format here,
Yep.
and we'll be crowning the amateur champion.
yeah, really cool.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah,
Just to see a championship be won, his 6th
Yeah.
championship.
God.
We're
awesome,
asking,
man.
we're like, how many is that? 6
I know.
across
Right.
multiple divisions,
Right.
and just seeing how he's really able to. I mean, like you said, consistent, right?
Longevity.
Longevity.
Right? Just great for a long period of time. And that's what makes him a legend, right? Just really impressive. Really, really happy for David. Just a quality hitter.
Yeah.
Just, and if you think of long drive, I mean, Mobley is probably on the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Of long drivers.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. I'll be competing with him later this afternoon. I'm glad he wore himself out a little bit.
Yeah.
But no, we always talk. It's always, we have so much respect for each other, David and I, and we love competing against each other, and it's just nothing better. Win, lose, or draw, we always enjoy it, and that's what competition is, right? We're friends off the grid, get on the grid, want to tear each other's throats out, but that's the way it should be. I wouldn't expect that anything less from any of my competitors. They want to beat me as much as I want to beat them. So but it's awesome. Congrats to him. Another world championship for him. Super seniors, and he's going to have me in about 3 years, not 4 years, in the super senior. So win as many as you can. No, I'm just kidding.
Here's the thing.
Hey, Jeff Gavin, I think will be in next year.
You'll be up to a 230 ball speed by then. So
dude,
you'll be.
I just want to be like Fournier. Okay.
Right.
I just want to be like Daniel Fournier in his 70s, swinging at almost 180 ball speed. I mean, that is more impressive than anything to me. I mean, that is just incredible.
We've seen some impressive numbers here out of the super senior division, right? And I think we saw impressive numbers out of the senior division yesterday.
Yeah.
Of course,
right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think that's the thing about this sport, right? It's just about hitting that ball at the right moment,
Absolutely.
flighting that ball at the right moment. And we saw David do that, right? He said he only got one in play, but it only takes one.
Yeah. Lance Reeder, too, owner of Crank Golf. David's been hitting a crank. That's, I mean, how many world championships is that for Crank now, Ryan? Probably 30, 25, 30, or 50-ish, something like that. We'll get David, or maybe ask Lance. He's hitting the crank driver, which is awesome. I gotta go give him a hug.
Go give him a
He's
hug.
coming down here. I'm gonna go relax, get ready for 1 o'clock.
Appreciate you.
Well, dude, it never looks like it.
We're going to get David on the mic here, talk with Ryan in a second. But, yeah. Just,
Eddie's trying to disconnect all of our wiring.
Eddie's trying to take everything out, but just a great competition, right? Just a great showing the longevity, the endurance. And you feel like this one's just a little bit sweeter for him, right? With everything going on.
Yeah,
down back home. This one's probably the sweetest one he's got.
Yeah, I heard him mention that it was more difficult than he thought. Which is kind of the mindset of a champion, right? Like he knows he's got the goods to do it.
Yeah.
And even he'll come talk about it here in a minute, but he didn't feel like he was bringing his best stuff. But I think clearly at the end he brought it together. So.
Yeah, just getting some direction.
Yep. Trying to wave David over, get him on the headset.
David,
he's dragging this heavy belt.
I love that the championship belt is to go like the trophy is great. Eddie, hit him straight, boy.
Thanks for helping out again, Eddie.
And I love the championship belt coming in here, right? Because you can't walk into Walmart with a trophy and look cool.
No.
But you can throw this over your shoulder and you're the champion. You know what I mean? Let me get a little over the shoulder action on that. Let's get David on here.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
David, I know you want to get out of the sun, so we can make this, fairly quick.
Oh, cool.
I just want to get your comments. I feel like, as a competitor, to get into your mind a little bit, other people can see. They want to know what you're thinking, what's happening, what's going through your brain up there on the tee box.
No, you really don't. You really don't. You got to remember, I've got PTSD and all other kind of mental health issues. You don't want to inside my brain, man. Holy cow.
Well, talk to me. You said it was more difficult than you thought, right? Like you felt like maybe you weren't hitting your best in that first.
I was really, really struggling this morning. This left arm thing it's flared up again. I've been battling with it all year, right? And it flared up earlier this week. And one of the keys to hitting the shot into the wind and hitting that flat ball that'll chase is you kind of just subtly hold the release a little bit and trap the ball, right? Well, you need a strong left forearm to do that. And the problem I was having was I couldn't square the toe up. Every time I would try to really go at it, the toe was open and I'd hit it right. Or if I tried to, kind of slow down the turn a little bit, I would flip it left, because I just couldn't get the timing of it right. So anyway, I tried a couple of different drivers to see if there was something that would work a little bit better. And I actually ended up going back to the one that I've been hitting well all year. And And fortunately, you know, we get 6 tries because it took all 6 from me, man. Good Lord, I was struggling hard up there. But one solid ball all it takes, and that's all I knew, and, you know, that's what I was able to do. So I was very fortunate. But, hey, let's give some great credit, though, to Tommy Stallone. He hadn't been competing much.
Yeah.
And look how great he hit the ball. I mean, wow, that 325, that got in my head. That's like, okay, you better step it up there, tough guy. You know, because that's
yeah,
big.
because up to that point,
Yeah.
the longest was 319.
Yeah, the
your
one that
drive
I had,
earlier
yeah.
in the day. So it's interesting you talk about how you notice that, you pay attention to that,
yeah.
right? Because he did that put a little pressure on you. It made you go a little further. Like I mentioned in the interview with him, he had a 191 ball speed, his 5th ball that just missed out left. You know, so he stepped on it.
All right, perfect. Yeah, that's cool. Let's go. Enjoyed it, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.